So today I'm racing, I'm going to be doing the London Landmarks half. I've just checked in with some of the apps that I'm testing at the moment. So the Aura Ring, which gives you kind of a readiness score. Today, 45. Whoop, which I've also been testing. 1% recovery from yesterday's 18.5 mile run. Going to be a good run then. So here's a quick window into my pre-race preparation, which has been absolute junk actually. I woke up at 2:30, couldn't get back to sleep, so decided to come around. It's now 5:38, I've come down to get breakfast. I gave up, came down early, just having my pre-race breakfast, which is a bit of scrambled eggs, bit of spinach, some artichokes, and toasted seeds and some avocados. I go for kind of sort of good fats and stuff in the morning and protein. I don't tend to go for carbs. I find this gives me a nice even energy, particularly for a half. So the other thing I like to do in the morning pre-race is stick one of these. It's a precision hydration powder into a small amount of water. I'll just sip that now between leaving house on the way to the race start. I've got good sort of 3 hours, and of course a second coffee. To whip you quickly through what I'm going to test on this race. So kick off with the Shokz Openrun Pro, top of the range bone conductors, made for conditions like big city races. So we'll see how they get on. I'm also going to be putting this to the test. This is a really sort of super minimal North Face Flight Series race vest. I guess it's designed for ultras, but for a half marathon, it's nice and minimal. We've got a couple of soft flasks, potentially good for self-sufficiency. We'll see how that runs. I've also got this, another thing that might be good for race mornings. This is the On Zero jacket. It's a 61 gram jacket, super lightweight. It's not going to keep you warm in freezing temperatures, but it does pack down tiny. You can wear that at the race start, stick it in your race belt or in your shorts or in your vest, or even in a short pocket probably. So we'll see how that goes. I'm also going to be taking a look at this. This is the Prevayl, basically a smart sensor that goes into smart apparel like this. As you see, it slots in to this base layer. Within the base layer, you've kind of got what's almost like a built-in chest strap. It's a little bit more smart than that, but essentially what it's doing is tracking all your running heart rate data as you go. I'm going to be putting that up against the Whoop strap, but I'm going to move the Whoop strap into the Whoop strap wear shorts that put a sensor on the back of your hips here, and also do a sort of similar thing, tracking your activity, your heart rate, all of that kind of thing, strain. So we're going to be doing a little bit of comparison of those. The other thing I'm going to be using on the run are these are Precision Fuel and Hydration Chews. 30 grams in a tiny little pack. I've already opened this one from yesterday, but you can see here, in one tiny little chew, you've got 15 grams of carbs. For a half marathon, that feels great. I've got a couple of those. They're so small and light. Going to be using those to see how I get on around. I think I can fuel them on just 2 packets of this basically. And then final thing, I'm going to be race testing the Puma Velocity Nitro 2. I've done a video on the channel already that was a first run with these yesterday, 18.5 miles. This time I'm going to use them in race conditions, and if the legs allow, I'll pick up the pace a bit, but I'm a little bit tired, so we'll have to see. So it's about now when I'm walking to race, so I always sort of start to think about what I'm going to do, how am I going to run it. This one's going to be an odd one. I'm not fit to go fast. I ran long miles yesterday, but I also don't want to be out there for 2.5 hours. So I think I'm going to try and go to feel but 9-minute miles or something, 9s, 10s. Oh, I don't know. I think it's going to be one of those where you go suck it and see. So pre-race is a little bit VIP today, but fancy gym, changing rooms, lockers, showers. Yeah, this is the way to do it. Now, going to start in about 20 minutes, fully sensored up, everything's ready for testing, good to go. Sun's out, beautiful day.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
So 1 mile in, I've just had to jettison the water out of this vest because the bottles make it bounce up and down like nobody's business. Bonkers, really uncomfortable, not a happy thing at all. I just made a pretty miserable first mile. 2 miles down then, I've definitely gone out too fast. I'm very tired, 18-mile legs for this. 4 miles down there, we're just passing St Paul's, nice little landmark. 5 miles in, a little check-in on the Puma Velocity Nitro 2. Obviously did 18 miles in these nice and steady and slow yesterday, but picking up the pace a little bit, going a little bit faster. I actually coped really well. There's actually a really nice amount of rebound in these, and again, I think just a really balanced amount of kind of cushioning, sort of kind of ground content but firmness. And yeah, I'm happy sort of pushing higher intensity in these shoes as well, which is what I'd hope, which is probably going to make them a super versatile shoe. I reckon this is something that if you're a new beginner runner, you could buy one of these for 100 quid and you could do all your marathon training in it and get out the other side and still race in it, so that's pretty good. Well, I've just had to rein it in a bit, starting to get a little bit too excited. I must be coming up to mile 9 now. Starting to feel a bit dizzy with all the twists and turns. The Tower of London. There's mile 10. We're in the rave tunnel. It's not very ravey. This is always a special place to run along here. Even on a Sunday when you're on your own doing a race. What a beautiful day, blue skies, river by your side, 2 miles to go. This is it then, 13-mile mark, it's all done but the shouting, and I'm hoping there's going to be quite a lot of it. There's 13, coming home then.
You are a half marathon finisher. Well done, guys. Playing your part today, you raced in 6.5.
Thank you. Done. Finished. And strong.
Of the 12,000 runners, joggers. We got a big team running in memory of Jimmy Maloney.
Finished the race, and now on Horse Guard Parade behind me. On the other side we've got St James's Park, which is one of the nicest parks I think in London. But yeah, so the kit, let's talk kit. This North Face Flight Series race vest, when you've got this full soft lasts in it, bounces all over the shop. I could not get these straps. I've got them on as tight as they go. I could not get that to sit right. It was juggling around first mile. In the end, I just had to ditch it. No good at all. It was fine without the bottles in there, or as soon as you put any kind of weight in these front sections, wobbled like anything. So I think that kind of rules it out for me. If I can't make it sit still, I mean, that's flat. We're going flat, 7-minute miles, 7.5-minute miles. So we're going quite fast, but that's not really any good. These are Shokz Openrun Pro, really enjoyed actually, sort of lightweight. As I said in the race, I'm not really a huge fan of the bone conductors, but I think, you know, in race conditions, actually I sort of felt like the sound on these today at least was a little bit more full. There was an awful lot going on the course, so it was quite nice being able to drift in and out of my own music, and then the sound of the bands and stuff would override it, so that was quite nice. They are light, they are kind of comfortable. I'm going to flow up the battery life on this and see what it used up in the hour and a half that I ran. Be a figure on the screen now. So the other thing I've tested is the Prevayl base layer with the sensor and the Whoop strap kind of shorts, the Whoop wear shorts. The difficult thing about the shorts really for me is that when you're running, they've got a built-in base layer. You can't wear base layer shorts underneath them because the sensor has to touch your skin. So that makes it awkward, and the shorts have chafed a little bit, so that's not ideal. They're not really massively comfortable running shorts. The base layer top, I went for long sleeve today in the Prevayl. Important thing about this, I think, went size down and I've got a better fit, but again, I will do a little bit of analysis of the stats of those two things to see how the heart rate compared and the accuracy back in my home office. And then I think the final thing to say is the Puma Velocity Nitro 2. So yesterday I did 8.5 miles and I was running very slow, sub 130 beats per minute. Today I was kind of pretty much all out with everything I could do. I ran on field, but some of that was ticking up to 7-minute miles and did, I think, somewhere like a 140 half or something. So pushed the pace on these all on tarmac, and actually I think these are a massively versatile shoe. I think they're really so comfortable to run in. I really enjoyed actually popping around in them today. And again, as I said on the run, I think these could be a really good shoe for £100, particularly for like a beginner runner. You want a shoe that's going to do everything for you if you're training for your first 10k, first half, maybe even a first marathon. It'll get you through, I think, a full range of your training runs and take you through race day pretty comfortable, all for 100 quid. So yeah, again, running in these today has just confirmed what I felt yesterday, which is I'm a big fan of these shoes. Very comfy indeed. Oh, the other thing I forgot to talk about is this jacket, the On Zero jacket. So, done a review on the run testers of this, and it's really lightweight. I actually ended up running the whole race in it. It was, you know, you can see I've just walked from where you're in the shade. It's actually properly cold. When you step into the sunlight, it's warm, and the whole race was a bit like that. It had moments where it's sort of quite chilly. I'm a bit of a cold person, so I sort of tend to prefer to be a little bit warmer than a little bit cold. So I did on the base there, and actually it ran quite well. It's not too hot and sweaty. I'm not sure if I'd wear it without anything on my arms, but it is super lightweight, and I think, you know, if you do get too hot, you've always got that option of taking this off and stuffing it in a pocket. So yeah, it's quite expensive though, £150. You know, there are jackets that can do pretty much the same, but it performed pretty well for what I needed it to do today. And then what of the landmarks? Halfwell, that's a very twisty-turny course. You do get to see quite a lot of London's nicest landmarks. There's some beautiful spots. On the first mile you go up and over a bridge across the Thames, you get to see quite a lot of the kind of buildings and landmarks. The stretch back along the embankment from mile sort of 11 onwards into 13 is pretty wonderful, past the House of Parliament. Embankment's always a good place to get kind of cheers. You see the Millennium Wheel, you see Oxford Tower, you see a lot of stuff. It's a fairly wide course, wasn't too much congestion. Water stations where you needed them. Yeah, some of them I felt like I didn't fill the cups in the water stations as well as they maybe should have, so I was a little bit underhydrated, but you know, that's all sort of by the by really. I think a super well organised race. It's felt relaxed, and I think a pretty enjoyable course, even though it's a little bit twisty and turny. There's a little bit of kind of coming back on yourself, but yeah, I enjoyed that one. On a beautiful day like this, to get out and see London, like if you're thinking of travelling to the city for a half, if you're not from London, it's a good one to experience, you know, most of the landmarks, and finish, you know, in central London where I am now. Anyway, off now to get a shower and yeah, catch up with the run testers and then do some, maybe have a beer. So there you have it. That has been my race test at the London landmarks half. Lots of gear there. Hope you enjoyed kind of the feedback on the race. One that I think I would recommend actually, on having done it for the first time. Enjoyed it. You can sign up now for 2023 if you fancy coming down and doing it. Google it, the website's open, get yourself registered. Maybe I'll see you out there next time around. But thanks for watching, and yeah, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button and do all that kind of stuff for more reviews and race videos and running stuff and all that jazz.